the incredibly obnoxiously long
Resident Evil.
bending down to pick up the object animation that can be interrupted by a grab from the other side of the room. Because dogs in this game are fucking worthless. Yeah, that's what tends to get people when they sort of reach, like, the mid-level of speedrunning, I think, or possibly even just, like, low intermediate. Is that, oh, I've reached the point of the grind where it is not strictly 100% fun all of the time. I should stop because I'm not having fun. And it's like, you can do that if you want. That's not an unfair reaction to have, but you'll never get anywhere if you quit every time you're not having fun. And you'll never get anywhere if you quit if, like, you just like, nah, I don't feel like doing runs today. And it's like, no. Even if you don't feel like doing runs, do fucking runs. That's discipline. And you got that discipline, you can do anything. Seriously? That kind of sucked. Hell yeah. The thing is I'm going to the arcade to work on my DDR. I wish I could fucking work on my DDR every day, but I can do that once a week at maximum, and it's expensive. So that's very difficult. Thanks, game. Man, that was a much better start than -5 implies. You know, obviously there's only so many things that one can do. I want to work on rhythm games more and all that, but I only have so many hours in the day. And for the most part, speedrunning is my bread and butter, so I spend most of that time working on speedruns instead of doing self-indulgent rhythm game streams. Even though it's of the same sort, I focus this, because that's my craft, so to speak. Honestly, I do a lot of fucking things. I do a lot of things. But still, this is one of the things I find a lot of speedrunners, even like accomplished ones, even long-lasting ones, don't have a very strong appreciation for. Is an acceptance that sometimes you will not feel like doing runs. And when that happens, you should still fucking do them. You know, within reason, of course. If you're, like, slipping into existential depression, maybe take a look at what it is you're doing. Hey, there's a difference between, I don't quite feel like doing runs today, and, doing runs of this game fills me with existential dread. If that's happening, your problems run a bit deeper. Oh, what a shit. Hi, Drift Peasant. I ain't reading that shit. I see something about updating Windows. Never update Windows. That is really... I don't even know how many bullets I have now. Rude. That was unusual dog RNG. Dude, if it's any consolation, Frank, right, the safari fucks with everyone. Skip the safari. Become a safari refugee. It's okay. Oh, well, fuck that then. Maybe don't skip the safari. But skipping the safari is like the meme. I want to do that now. Oh. The fact that you can't skip the safari anymore is upsetting. I'm not, for the record, I'm not remotely good enough to even... Like, I can't attempt 7, Dan. I failed 3rd Q once. I'm not good at 2DX at all. Safari be like diddle-diddle-diddle-diddle, diddle-diddle-diddle-diddle. Ta-da-da-da-da. 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 TDX is like the one Bamani game I cannot play to even like a sort of halfway decent level. I'm over here like inconsistently passing 4s and 5s, like, yeah, dude. I have passive AI. Why would you do this to me? I will never get to 8 because I would have to play lots of 2DX to do that. And I'm not sure I even like 2DX. I'm aware of it, but playing it always fills me with existential dread. What a fucker. I need to get K-Shoot up and going on this computer to play Sound Vortex. I was having issues with my controller, and I'm not really sure what the hell is going on with it. I was having difficulty telling if it was like a problem inherent to the, inherent to the controller, or if it was just the particular thing I was using it for. Hi, Camden. Why the fuck, game, do you do the opposite of the thing that I request and require of you? Okay, yeah. I think he just passive AI walked into me as well. I honestly wasn't even aware there was a difference between the two. Would you like to open the menu, game? I actually thought the Untitled Sound Vortex clone and K-Shoot Mania were the same game. Why does that keep happening? I'm willing to give it a try at least, because I was having funny issues with the lasers and everything. Like, I'm still not really sure I understand how lasers work. I felt like they dropped for fucking no reason. The thing is that I really only want to play official files, you know? Maybe, but I could never find a comfortable sensitivity for it. It just never seemed to work. It would always seem to drop apropos of nothing, and I was never really quite sure why. Like, sometimes slams wouldn't work, and it's like, why is a slam failing? It's like the easiest fucking thing in the world. You just turn the dial. But in particular, it seems like it would get really confused. Thing is, like, it's hard to tell if I'm just bad. I'm definitely not very good at sound vortex, by the way. Like, therein lies the problem with, like, my testing. Which is that I am not great at sound vortex by any means. And, like, there are motions where lasers, like, crisscross in and out of each other, right? And for some reason, these always drop when, like, both lasers need to be twisted in opposite directions at the same time, and I can't tell if the sensitivity is causing it to, like, slam back and forth and fuck my combo up, or if I'm just not good at the motion. I'm not sure. I haven't played on, like, an actual arcade cabinet in a hot minute, otherwise I'd have a much better idea of what it was that, like, is wrong with what I'm doing. Because my local arcade does not have a sound vortex. Yeah. I mean, they try, you know? At the very least, if I complain about, like, a fucked up button on the DDR, someone at Leeds will fix it, usually, but I've never been able to get them to consistently maintenance the dance rush. I don't know why. I seem to be the only person who thinks it ghosts, and it definitely does. I'm aware that you can't go too far. I find that, like, really weird, but I'm aware. Seriously, game? Game, fuck off! Yeah, I honestly, we toyed with the idea of just buying a dust mop from, like, a local B&M, and walking in with him, being like, "Hi, can we like clean your machine?" I know for a fact the security guy, especially the one who's a prick, would tell us to fuck off. If we did that. Which, like, by the way, P.S. Fuck that guy.
Disagree.
What
Go fast.
game?
She sucks in head.
Jesus. Croker, thanks for the 3 months. Saying fuck off to you. There's a security guard at the local arcade that I go to who is a consistent prick to everyone for no reason. He seems to really, really hate people enjoying video games in a group setting. He has confusingly opted to work in an arcade. Like, the last time I was at the arcade, like, I met some friends, but then I stayed, like, after they left, so I was on my own, just sort of chilling, playing dance video games, as one does, until the arcade shut. Which it shuts at, like, 8, so that's not totally unusual for me. So, anyway, as I was getting my stuff to fucking leave, the guy is like, "Oh, you're gonna be participating in the DDR tournament in a couple months?" And I'm like, "Yeah," you know, and I'm just like, "Oh, he's actually trying to strike up like conversation and be sort of polite." And he tells me that he's not looking forward to it because it causes such a crowd and a ruckus in the arcade. And I'm like, "Isn't that a good thing?" And I was like, "No, it blocks the hallway. And if you guys do it again, I'll fucking cut the machine off." And I'm like, I just give him a look like, okay. Like, bear in mind, I didn't, like, initiate conversation with him. He just started complaining to me about the thing that I obviously enjoy doing, and it's like, why are you like this? I just want to play video games, man. Like, why do you, like, insist on pissing on my fun? For no reason. Obviously, I fucking complained. Because what he seems to not realize is that rhythm gamers bitch to each other about that type of thing. So that got passed up the chain. The thing is that he seems to treat the arcade with, like, the security standards of a nightclub and not an arcade. Whereas, like, people enjoying games, crowding around a machine in a group format, is how arcades fucking work, moron. He has also in the past, like, pulled people aside for, like, freestyling too hard on Dance Rush, and he's like, "Oh, don't do that. You know, like, that's bad for the machine." And it's like, dude, it's fine. And so, "Oh, you're jumping too hard." And I'm like, do you know that the game has a move explicitly asking you to jump? So it's a dance game. You don't dance soft. You dance like you're dancing. You know? Like, as a result, he he gets annoyed at me because, you know, I do like routines and shit. I dance with flair when I play Dance Rush, and he fucking, like, every time he's sort of like, you're being too, like, heavy with the machine. And I'm like, it's Dance Rush. It's a big boy. It can take it. It'll be fine. I assure you, the little kids and the drunken people, like, actually physically, like, pounding their feet into it are more of a problem than I am. I look like I dance with force, but the whole point of it is that it actually has quite a light step. That's kind of like half of the technique. Yeah, for some reason that guy seems to just consistently go out of his way to, like, ever so slightly just to sort of harsh my buzz when I'm enjoying things. For reasons I find completely inscrutable. Like, when Dance Rush was even, like, first brought to the arcade, he made it a point to specifically, like, warn me when I came in, "Oi, don't hog the Dance Rush, you know, like, let other people have a go," and it's like, can you not be a fucker for 2 seconds and let me, like, enjoy something? And he would, like, walk over, like, every so often to make sure I wasn't hogging the machine when I was, like, just perfectly naturally swapping credits with everyone else who wanted to play. And it's like, I'm not a twat, man. I know the queuing system. So I had this fucking guy just, like, hounding me the whole time I was trying to play a fucking video game. Because it's like, oh, you're taking too many goes on it. And it's like, there's no one else around for this one. It's like... Because sometimes I would get 2 credits in a row, because, you know, I'd finish a credit, and there was fucking no one else in the line, and it's like, okay, I'll go again. Like, what the fuck is this hurting? Am I supposed to just, like, let it sit empty? This happens with, like, DDR as well, right? Just like, oh, you've played, like, 3... You've been on there, like, he doesn't know how many sets I've played, obviously, because he doesn't know, like, the rhythms of it. He also doesn't understand extra stage. He understands that, like, there's 3 songs in a credit, but he doesn't understand extra stage as a thing. So he'd be like, you've been on there for a long time, and I'll be like, it's been 2 credits. He's like, you've been on there for a long time, and I'm like... And I'm just like, I'm just thinking in my head, do I try and explain to him how extra stage works, or do I just not bother? Because you see, 2 credits can give you 8 songs if you get extra stage on both credits. Which is not that difficult to do. When they update Dance Rush and I gain access to extra stage on that, that's gonna fucking confuse them even more, because I will get 3 songs. But at the same time, if it's like, if there's no one, like, in the queue waiting for the machine, what am I supposed to do? Just, like, stand off it and, like, indicate that someone else should take a turn? Like, if you want to go, you have to tell me that you want to go, otherwise I will just play another round. That's not dickish or selfish, it's like, I'm not a mind reader. When I'm done with a set, I look around to see if anyone's waiting, and I go, like, I point to the machine, like, you want to go? If no one's there, play again. Is that not the etiquette? That's the etiquette, I think, you know? Like, that's pretty simple. But because, you know, I'm like a regular, I'm fucking marked as, like, trouble by this guy because I play the games too much? Question mark? Bastard. They stand behind. Like, there's actually no room to stand on the side. No quarters, it's not a coin-taking cabinet.
Emergency. Unknown source of pressure detected. Locking all doors to achieve maximum safety.
People card in nowadays. They don't, like, coin, so you need the card line. Or if you don't have a card, then just fucking indicate that you want to play. Like, it's not... Again, people do this perfectly uneventfully when I'm at that arcade. It's just that, for the most part, the machine isn't in constant use. Apart from me. I will use it. What you do is you take a seat, right? There's seats nearby, usually. You take a seat, you wait, and then when the set ends, you walk up. It's not rocket science. You do have to indicate that you want to play. If standing behind makes you feel a bit weird, then oops, because that's how arcades work. The arcade goers are not mind readers. They will not know if you don't make it quite clear that you wish to play the game. As you know, I think that's reasonably simple to accomplish. Hey, ethicist. I did a stair skate there for no reason. Does not help. And I'm in the habit of drawing a lot of fucking attention when I play, like, either of the dance games as well at the arcade, because, you know, that's the life of being good at video games. Nah, rotter! That's my first aid spray gone. And Chris is running into the wall because this game doesn't work. People can and will stand behind you if they wish to play the dance game. That's just how it works. That's just how arcade environments be. There's not really a superior alternative. This is one of the reasons why people like arcades, in fact, is that they force your ass to be social. Because you will never get very many sessions if you're not willing to at least communicate with other people that you want to play the game. And that generally tends to, you know, entail initiating conversation. Or at the very least, you have to indicate, I got next, which... Of the arcade goers, the average person doesn't understand how that works. They seem to think it, like, I will offer... Like, do you want to go? When my credit is over. Other people will offer when they're bored. Generally. So I get very annoyed with just random people taking like 2 or 3 credits in a row, and I'm just like, hey, I said I had next. What the fuck? Oh, that whiffed. Damn. Seven. 8. Cool. That's how it works with the Sound Voltex cab at, like, another arcade, because they have, like, got the art of queuing down. Because so many people use it. So they actually have, like, the system. Anyway, goddamn, I'm looking forward to my arcade getting an updated dance rush, because, oh, the dances will be crazy. So much dance will occur, and it's only, like, it should be done, like, tomorrow, with any luck. Fuck. Bitch ass fucking dog. Piss off. See ya. That only barely worked because of, like, analog stick stair escape. I pretty much exclusively play the music games when I go to the arcade. I mean, it's kind of the main attraction, so... Mood. Right, I'm gonna be brave, and this might bite me in the ass. Brave play! Oh, it worked out well. What the fuck? Don't do that. Bob is in the way. That could be good. Or it could be fucking horrible, because the camera angle decided to take a shit. God, that was weird. Hi, Flad. Oh, nice miss, game. Very cool. I'm now legitimately concerned the run might be dead. Oh no, it's alright. That kinda sucked, though. Wow. Note to self, don't go for the 5th shot. Chris will whiff. And you'll fucking get hit and fall off a ladder. I didn't think... Okay, I know why that happens, but I didn't think it'd do that. But apparently it does. Is distressingly horny generally the term there? you know what I want to do? Putting both the books away. Is that optimal? No. Why am I doing it? Not sure. Don't. I mean, well, it's because I want to pick these up without having to menu. Cool. That is Resident Evil 5, Chris. It's a bonus costume. How many bullets do I need for the remainder of the game? Because right now I have 6. I should be okay. Should be. Why you gotta turn around like that? Why you gotta be that guy? I'm honestly impressed you haven't somehow heard about it, Cutton, because, like, everyone's fucking talking about it. I've heard of it, and I don't want to hear about it. I don't care. Wait, no, don't... I almost made a big mistake there. Thinking too ahead. I'm never quite sure of where to put these things in the menu. Hey, Ek. Welcome to Chrisam and Gilliam's excellent adventure. Chris presses his face into a door. Due to Chris possessing an extremely rare congenital disease known as being a fucking Muppet. It afflicts only a small percentage of the population, including the actual Muppets. Hi, Twisted. Read. Swap those. I want to do a couple of things here, honestly. No. Damn it, game. I gotta be like that. Hey man, if I could make films as a tax break, I'd probably do it too. Oh, this sucks, because he's in the way, and the camera angle was being weird and funny about it. Am I even hitting? Sure, whatever. It is probably not worth menuing there to get it out of my inventory, because I put it away here anyway. I always wonder if that actually happens. Are there movies that do well on DVD that don't do well in the box office? They have, like, there has to be like that. I don't know very much about, like, the movie industry, or, like, how it monetizes exactly. Because there's plenty of games that were rediscovered. This is one of them, in fact. This game sold like fucking shit when it first came out. People seem to forget that quite readily, by the way. This game sold like balls when it first came out. Like, exclusively on the GameCube, this game sold like fucking shit. Whereas the later re-releases on Steam and the PlayStation 4 sold much better. Sold well enough that it eventually justified the game's existence commercially, but the original GameCube release of this game sold like balls. Which is why Capcom stopped making games in this style. Because they sold like crap. Yeah, again, it's not like that commonly known for whatever reason, but this game sold like fucking balls when it first came out. But only on the GameCube. It's later releases that would eventually do the numbers. Yeah, no, the rediscovery of it by critics and thus audiences was the reason they re-released it. Because if the market didn't exist when it came out, even though it reviewed critically extremely well, players didn't give a shit. Uh-oh. Okay, good thing he's too busy posing. Well, yeah, this did badly, RE4 did well, so Capcom pivoted to what they thought made the cash. And eventually it was rediscovered by audiences and critics alike, and eventually became successful, but it only really became successful with subsequent re-releases. The original GameCube version actually still fetches a fairly decent price because of that. It's not an expensive game, mind you, but... At least it was able to be rediscovered, you know? Not every game gets an opportunity like that. Who the fuck is sending me text messages? I always get stuck on this barrel. I didn't get stuck on that barrel. Can't check my text messages quickly enough. Oh. I mean, Capcom likes re-releasing all of its shit all the time anyway, but subsequent re-releases of this game did way better than the original release ever did. Hell, I think that ended up being the case with quite a few of their games. Capcom seems to be in the habit of, like, the late bloomer. It's part of their business strategy at this point. Like, you may laugh, like, they keep porting RE4 to everything, but also they port RE5 to everything, too. And that game has continued to make hand over fist. RE5 is actually one of their best-selling games, like, in general. RE5 sold well initially. And it continued to sell well. and still fucking does, in fact, sell well. I don't think Nintendo owned the rights to it, but I think it was tied up in sort of a publishing deal, which is probably why they didn't port it to PS2. Like they did with RE4 or Code Veronica. Because it's noteworthy that, like, Remake didn't make it off the GameCube until, what was the first console it made it to that wasn't the GameCube? The Wii, I think. Or did that come before? I think that came... Yeah, that came after. Did it come to 360 first? I don't know. The timeline gets a bit confusing there on down. As far as I know, DMC sold like shit, continued to sell like shit, and the PS4 version sold even like shittier shit. Because by that point it had been thoroughly fucking rejected by critics and audiences alike. Perhaps it does. I don't know. I haven't played it. That's the thing. I didn't play it. It sold like shit. There's reason. There's one of the reasons I didn't buy it, because... It really does not seem like the worst production ever, but also I'm not really sure... Like, what of all the games, you know, when I scan across the broad landscape of gaming, why do I pick that one? And I've never been able to come up with a good answer to that question. Yeah, I mean, at least they tried a different direction, I guess. A new style is always a bit of a gamble. But you also gotta be, like, sort of careful with that type of thing. That's why experiments are experiments, after all. Rebecca dies. Lol. Rebecca is fucking dead. I should give him the time limit. If I ran over to her, I reckon she'd still actually be fine. You actually have a pretty generous time limit from when she screams to getting over to that room. No, I wanted to combine it. Mood. Okay, that's... I don't like that at all. Gonna skirt by real fast. Tight. Alright, see you later, windbag. It's hard to pressure that. Because remember, if a badly positioned, like, clock in the back of the fucking head from Lisa can instantly kill you. And that tends to be a bad thing. Just don't get hit. That's the whole point. That's why I played it safe. No. Whoa! That was a bit brave. How am I from? What? How many one-shots are in this game? Too many. My general feeling on the quantity of one-shots is too fucking many. How long have I been streaming? In like a broad sense, or specifically this stream? I don't know. I kind of lost count. Whoa, that was... Okay, that was brave. I don't know, like, probably 5 or 6 years, I'd say, but not consistently. Chinese letters. Guess I'm going for it. Could very well die. I'm dead. I'm not dead. I have been granted an incredible amount of mercy. Wow. I was granted exceptional mercy to not just instantly die from that. It's random whether or not getting grabbed with the nitro kills you, and the game took fucking pity on me. It's not quite coin flip odds, but like it's like I think it's like 35% that getting grabbed fucking kills you. So, while that sucks, and I lost time, it's distinctly better than immediate death. We are fucking good, baby. I've actually, so far, never had a run die to having the fuel blow up on me, so that would have been a new one. I kind of feel like it's overdue at this point. So I'm honestly surprised I got away with that. That's awkward. Not that awkward, though. Handled it. Sub 57? 58, yes, not 57. Unless the game crashes, which it can. It's rare, but it does happen. I love my full-ass inventory. I didn't use the final first aid spray because I didn't fucking need it. I like Chris's stoic blinking. Go, 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 go. 57:37. What a speed run.
Chris, you did a fine job.
I did do a fine job. I did such a fine job, I am now 5th place. What a fine job. Fine job. Top 5. Fine job.